All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Peyton Pilgrim, aka Petty Pips, Next Wave analyst, and we are at an important time of the week, month. Soon, next month is really going to be important, but especially on Wednesday of next month. But tomorrow, which is going to be the 27th, is we have the GDP for the US, and they are expecting it to be very good. And right now in the stock market, we're also getting our earnings. And today there was a huge miss in a couple of different stocks. And then tomorrow we're getting more earnings coming out for Apple, Amazon, MasterCard, McDonald's. A lot of big companies are coming out with their earnings as well. So we're gonna most likely see a lot of movement tomorrow. Whether or not the Bulls or the Bears come in, we'll see. We'll see which way the probability, because that's all it is. We'll see which side the probabilities lean towards. We'll see which way the risk rewards lean towards on the technical side. All right. So really, tomorrow at 7:15 or 7:30 Central Standard Time. You really want to watch out for that. And then I believe this is at 8:30. Is it in the morning? Either way, stock market's probably going to move a lot tomorrow, guys. With the indices, the dollar, I mean, everything's going to move. So let's go look at the technicals and let's start to find some plays, because that's ultimately what I want to do today. I want to find some setups that we can play for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to stay on my weekly outlook, and we're going to go on to this weekly chart real quick. And just to see what this candle's looking like right now, okay, we're getting a possible reversal type look. If we're going to look at a monthly candle, which is going to close in a couple of days, I wouldn't say reversal on the monthly, but I personally, just with the Fed, haven't necessarily stopped yet. I did see the Bank of Canada didn't raise rates as high as they were expecting, so that could be a sign that things are slowing down globally. But this area is still, even where we are right now, it could still move up. It could do something similar to this, right? Give a one candle, and then the next month we just pop out. I'm still not super completely bearish on the dollar just yet. But with this type of price action, we have to probably lean towards like a more something like this, right? On the macro. But as of right now, we have had like 4 days of drop with no retracement. None at all. And so what we were expecting at the beginning of the week is we really wanted the market to come up before it made this move down. Well, now that it's made this move down all the way into a very important area, monthly point of control, I'm starting to believe that we have a chance to catch a retracement. But we all know that's low probability, right? The retracement up isn't really what we love to trade, but the probability at this point of selling it now, I mean, I'm not going to sell it anymore. So I'm going to wait for this to come back up into here. And then I'm most likely going to look for it to make another move down, just because technically that's what it is showing us. It's showing us this was the high. It failed here to make a new high. And now we're starting to break lower and make a new low. So, it is a very, I would say, correctional move still, because I'm still so not in love with the dollar just tanking. But look, if we do something like this, we might see, we could, depending on how you want to really like draw your freaking trend lines or whatever. If we took away the wicks, it would look something like that, right? There's a million different ways to draw these things. That's why I don't really love using this tool at all, but right, we're somewhat could possibly be coming into an area where this could start to go bullish. So let's go into the 1 hour. And this is what I'm referencing heavily right now, this bullish divergence that's starting to form as we've just dropped coming into this monthly point of control. I can just delete now. There's still this heavy volume way up here that never got cleared out, that I'm expecting to get cleared out. And then there's still this area down here of this open kind of just imbalanced area that is, at this point, we have equal lows and an imbalanced area right here. So it's kind of like this blue zone really is most likely going to get hit, and there's most likely going to be some type of reaction over here. To find that spot and to like pinpoint it, that's where, you know, the tight stop losses and trying to catch this move, like pinpoint it right here to take it all the way up here. That's not really what I'm going to be looking to do, even though that's kind of what I see. Probabilistically, when a market is moving at this rate, it's most likely going to give some type of a fake move and then steal off and then move. So it's really tough to play these moves, but I'm gonna play it. It's just the probability is a little wicked, right? So here's my favorite setup for a retracement or for a reversal when the market does make an impulse, and you get 3 waves that diverge on the MACD. That's my favorite setup, and I like to look for a complete, you know, reversion back to the mean. I like to use the 50 EMA, and so, you know, on the 15-minute, that would just be bringing the market right back into here. So that's not very much of a mean reversion. I'm looking for it to come, you know, look at it's overextended on the 4 hour, so it needs to correct more like into this area, or at the bare minimum this area. So this is what I'm looking for, the dollar to come up into those zones right there. To get, like I'm saying, to catch that, it's like you want to buy right here and then put your stop loss where, right? Who knows? So it's kind of got to do either this and make an impulsive move up, and then I'll look to play it, or it's got to kind of play around and dance and make some type of manipulative move down first and then an impulsive move up. So it's got to do a lot for me, really. I got to wait, but I do see the opportunity coming. Boom, boom, boom here on the dollar for a retracement. And then at that point, we got to really assess the downside, right? Because how fast it comes up will determine if we want to play it to the downside. But look at this, all the liquidity that I drew at the beginning of the week, all the volume from last month, the day that it dropped and the week that it dropped, sets up right at the 78.6. So we don't have to worry about anything, honestly. If the market gets into that, we're going to sell it. And it's also at the top of that channel. So it'll be interesting. I would rather get there slower to confirm the, you know, correctional move, something like this, even just do something like this, right? I would prefer that. Even I would prefer that. So we're really looking for that move to come out on the 15-minute. We're basically looking to play this move right here. The break, retest, and go. All right. So with that being said, and really that's the only place I can sell the dollar up here. Only other place I would look to short it would be, I mean, if I'm being super freaking risky in these areas right there that I just deleted. I'll bring it back. Okay. So those are my areas. Buying, if I'm freaking desperate as hell tomorrow and it spikes down, I think it's a fake move. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's fake. Let me read the volume. Ooh, the volume's actually increasing. So you got to be careful. This thing could just keep down, just pouring on this market. But we have this monthly just volume sitting right here. I think we're going to get a reaction. All right. So I spend a lot of time on the dollar because it makes it really easy on everything else. But this thing is breaking out. So let's look at this. This could be an early sign that the dollar is getting is going to try to ultimately, you know, turn around more macro. Let me go full screen mode. Okay. Breaking this 50 EMA on the daily for the first time. I mean, it broke it up here, but instantly reversed it. So we'll look to see if it does something like that. But what I'm seeing also is the momentum is extremely high. So I'm going to mark this off. And then we haven't seen this type of momentum since way back here when the market started to become bullish. So this is an interesting look for EU. Definitely broke structure. It failed to make a new low, and then it made a new high. So technically, if we're talking technicals, when it comes back, we should be looking for it to make a bullish move. This is a yearly point of control, and I'm not sure. Yeah, this is for like a way higher time frame, but it's passing this, breaking this. I don't even need that on the chart really at this point. This is going to be the most interesting spot. This month's point of control right here. So I'll mark that off, monthly point of control. When the market comes back into that, that will be a very interesting play. Let's go to the 1 hour. And at this point, this is kind of where the divergence comes in. We got to kind of really wait because I'm not the trader that buys when the market starts to just keep going up. I really wait for a deeper retracement and then a move. Like I'm more of a swing trader, to be honest. I really am. But I just don't like to hold them the full swing, to be quite honest. I just like the probability of the swing, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the same thing. This monthly point of control lines up perfectly with the 78.6. Can't ask for anything more than that. The other area where I think it would be acceptable to buy any euro pair would be here in this demand, and then the here that you're really risking it, but it would be lining up with the 50 EMA. When a market does trend up like this, sometimes that 50 EMA does hold really nice to send it up again. But for me, like I said, I'm looking for the deep retracement or the divergence, and I don't like going to the 15-minute a lot, but whenever you see the 3-wave, you got to respect it. And so, you know, if we get the pattern, we'll look for the short. If it makes one more pop up, well, then, geez, I think you should really look for an opportunity for a short. But that's just me. This is really what I want to see. And then ultimately, it correct really nice and slow, maybe give a pop fake right here, come back down one more again, give us a good pattern right into this area, and then ultimately see ya. And that's a lot of drawing. So let's get off that and go to GU, because I'm not an artist, I'm a trader. GU is very similar. It looks like we had it mapped out at the beginning of the week to come down into these areas and pop. It did come into the extension level, so we should definitely be looking for a retracement. Came into this monthly zone. That's what we were looking at, or monthly point of control. Let's get off the low time frames and go to the daily. And I mean, one of my rules is that if the market, and we'll delete this now since it broke above it, if the market prints a bullish candle on the daily with higher than normal volume or higher than the volume the previous day, one of my rules is you probably shouldn't short against that on like a swing trade idea or anything like that, right? Or sorry, a scalp idea, because the momentum is very bullish. But I'm noticing this volume is starting to decrease here, and we can just go ahead and delete that. The volume starting to decrease, but the momentum is increasing. So that's a little interesting there. We're getting this possible ABC pattern. If it breaks above here, I'm really expecting it to move up. At this point, it's in this channel. It's right at the spot. I don't know what's going to happen with it. Let's go to the 4-hour and get a good look. Okay, the volume is what I'm looking at. So we had this high volume move here that sent the market up with this, and then high volume here sent the market up. Okay, and then high volume here and here. When the volume started to decrease here, that's when we got the pullback. Even though the market was going up, the volume wasn't pullback. I'm kind of starting to feel that same vibe coming in. I think we might see a little bit more up with like less volume and then a pullback. So I'm looking for these to pull back. They're just sketchier than sketchy. So the probabilities are against us if we're trying to short GU, but let me go down to the 1-hour, and I'm seeing it. I mean, I really am. It's good divergence here. If it could just break, it needs to. I mean, the thing about it is when the structures start to get very short, okay, you can see divergence without indicators, obviously, like very low pullback. It should have pulled back deeper. Okay, then it makes a move up, very shallow pullback. It should have pulled back deeper. Okay, move up, very low pullback. It should have pulled back deeper, and then we got another move up. Okay, so now look at all the zones that the market, because the market is here for balance. It's supposed to be balanced. Look at all the zones now that we have to the market could possibly come back and fill. So yeah, you could buy here, but then it might come all the way back down in here. And yeah, you could buy here, but then it might come all the way back down into here. And ultimately, this would probably be the spot that I would really wait for to buy on the pound. But even that, there's still like an area way down here that never got hit. So kind of in a macro perspective thing for the pound, I'm seeing divergence. It probably will do one more move and create a third wave up, but I would wait for an impulsive move down and then play the retracement. And understand that impulsive move down could even be fake, but it's coming right into this supply here. So it makes sense that it could drop right now. It makes total sense that it could drop. Let's go into the Australian dollar. And the Australian dollar has been moving really clean. It just didn't give the entry that I wanted. But now it's at a swing area right at the 78.6. And we'll look at it at a daily first. Let's go to the daily and just see how bullish that damn candle is. So this is a sketchy swing now that you look at it. So now that I see it on the daily, I want to move this way up here. And that would be like a 4-hour swing, right? But this volume definitely is picking up right here. I do think the bulls might be in, because I know we're in a swing zone right here as well, from here to here. This is like a 78.6 or something, 61.8 area. So the bulls might be in. My big thing is it hasn't broken structure yet on the daily. So once it breaks above pretty much this 50 EMA, that'll be it. The 4-hour, though, has created that bullish structure and the bullish momentum. So there's no divergence here. What that's going to mean for me is when price comes back into this area, I'm going to be looking for buys. Since there's no divergence, it should converge on the next pullback. We should see another wave up. So this will make like a boom, like move like that, kind of. Maybe do a little dip down like this. And all that would just be a pullback. And then a rally up. So that's what I'm waiting for on the Australian dollar. It looks very bullish to me. Once it gets up here into this macro swing zone, at that point, I will think about the divergence, because then this will have to come up and we'll probably see it diverge then. That would make more sense. There's equal highs up here, a lot more supply right there. Not really a lot more, but this is pretty much the same as this. It could very well fall right here. There's a monthly point of control that's sitting right here, which means the whole month of, looks like, or the whole week. It was a week last week. Am I on the 1 hour, 4 hour? Yeah, it's a weekly. So a couple weeks ago, the beginning of August or October, this was the highest traded price volume wise. So it could seriously just fall from here. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour, and I need to maybe delete a lot of this. So let's see if it'll let me do this. There we go. All right. This one's pretty easy in my opinion. I like this the most because it has a very nice swing low right here to hold. And then the swing just is a very easy to spot out. If this one makes one more move up, I believe it will be the best one to short because it has made the biggest move up. So it will have the most retracement. So taking out these highs, one more move up, and or just even into this area, and then I think we're going to see this correct pretty dirty style. So we'll see how we have to play that. As a lot of patience, definitely. I'm not going to buy it on this fib, like this impulse here, or even like a 15-minute impulse where it could be right here. I'm not playing that. I'm waiting for the overall macro moves. So I'm going to be playing the corrections basically and waiting. I'm going to be playing the corrections as I'm waiting for the higher probability moves. Let's go to the Swiss. And the Swiss it did everything I thought it would. It just didn't give the entry, which sucks sometimes. But on the macro, we called out this demand area. It hit this with a wick. And then the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3 days, it's been bullish. Now we're back at the 50 EMA. We had high volume with this daily candle, so I'm not just expecting it to just reverse at the 50 EMA for no reason. But this is kind of the middle of this zone. Okay. We're getting close to the middle at least. And that's usually an area where price hesitates, to say the least. And this is definitely a price where it's hesitated before. So it should hesitate here. It should kind of give a little hezzy. Let's go onto the 4 hour. And you see the momentum picking up. I do think the next pullback, it will move to the upside. So we can keep that in mind. Basically sell USD CHF. So if this comes like this, I'm looking for that next move up, because this impulse was the biggest impulse we've seen in a minute. So I'm okay with looking for buys on the Swiss. On the 1 hour, it's starting to diverge a little bit. So what that means is if it pulls back, and the 50 EMA is going to come up. If it pulls back here, hits this 50 EMA again, because the 50 EMA would most likely meet it right here. And then if the market moves up again, one more again, into this area somewhere, supply, then it would be game on for a short, because I'll tell you what, there would be so much divergence. I tell you what, we from Texas, so I'd be looking for a short on that right there. And then ultimately, I'd really wanted to do something like this to confirm it. But realistically, I just want to buy it down, or want to look for buys when it comes down here. So even really down here, I would give it another shot because of the manipulation. Extra manipulation right here before this move to the upside. So with seeing all that, this is really why I'm bullish, right? The manipulation. Then we get the structure shifts. So that adds to it. And we came into a macro demand. So that adds to it. The only reason I'm looking for any type of shorts is because it's just part of my strategy. It's gone up so much and hasn't retraced back to the mean now. So we're looking for something here. All right, let's go to the JPY because this is interesting. And man, it sure did miss my spot, but it hit the 61.8 perfectly. Good for all the 61.8 traders out there who just, understood that this was probably going to go up regardless. We talked about it on the weekly analysis. Let's go to the daily and see what it looks like at this point. They had the bullish divergence, big bullish day, big volume. Now the volume needs to pick up when it breaks this high. The volume really needs to pick up, or else this is going to look kind of fake. So I don't know how I feel about that. Let's go to the 4 hour. I mean, it's kind of textbook impulse retrace, bullish move. There's no divergence on the 4 hour. Here's our month, another, supposed to be a weekly at this point, so I could do this. So there's kind of open volume to the downside, but there's a POC chilling right there. It's 100%. I want to put money on it. It's probably going to get hit. Even though there's divergence here, I think we're still going to see, let's see, why is that not dragging over? Oh, well, we're still going to see the yen most likely make a move to the upside, just because that's an area where the price was extra swaggy. I guess it does kind of come into this level right here, maybe stop, but I'm going to go ahead and put that back where it was. That's where I think it's going. Then I'll assess the sells. But at this point, I think this is a type of move that we all need to just kind of recognize that the yen is probably going to start its bullish move, like I've been saying for 4 months or something. So this move is definitely, definitely I'm looking for the bulls. On the lowest time frame, maybe shorts, but I'm not going to play that one. All the other ones look better. Gold did the same thing and just made the move we wanted, but ultimately didn't give us a trade off of 70.86. So this looks like it's going to keep going up. I'm going to delete that. Actually, let's see what that is. Oh, that's a bearish fib. So I have the zone marked off in red up there. I don't need that. Yeah, when the price gets up into here, I'll consider the shorts on a more macro perspective. Right now, there is some divergence, so there could be a snap down. I might consider buying still if it came down into this level, just because it would form somewhat of a little harmonic pattern, right? It's probably going to come up a little bit more. And then if it came down into here, I like Fibonacci stuff. I like these little harmonic patterns. So it's kind of like an AB fib harmonic patterns. If you ever was in IML. Oh, that's funny. But it's probably coming up into this liquidity up into there, and then we'll see a move down on gold. I'll wait for that. In fact, this is like the first opportunity that I really like really, really like with confidence. So about, 50, a little bit above that, maybe 100, because you're bringing it back into here. So just a scalpish stuff back into the daily point of control. That's good enough. 1 to 2, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that right there, boy. Okay, let's confirm everything I'm talking about with silver. And dang, silver, he did the same thing. He just barely missed the 78.6. I had an alert on it too. I usually don't play silver with an alert, but it's moving up and it's looking very similar to gold, with the divergence at least right here, right? So one more move up is going to bring it into this area, which would be an extension, a fib extension. It would be a zone that it struggled at to break once, and then it smashed it. So not really a zone, to be honest. Let's get a clean zone out of this. Definitely clean right here. Okay. So silver up into this zone. I think it'll have some rejection and then a drop. If I'm looking at this correctly, it might even have like a little left head, right shoulder there. So that's interesting. I'm not going to go any deeper into silver. I just kind of like using it for confirmation. All right, oil again, kind of similar move. We've been looking forward to kind of move up, and it is starting to do that. This is based off the supply cut, in my opinion. Let's go to the daily and see what this is looking like. I'm more bullish on oil than bearish at this point. Especially with this type of move. I think tomorrow, if there's a pullback, you should look to buy. This looks almost, and I could be a little bit wrong. This might do a little A, B, C, and then move up. But I think this is a really good opportunity on the swing zone, from swing low to swing high. It hit the 78.6, and then we moved out. And then it came and hit the 61.8, and then it's moving out right here. I think we're going to get this move at the bare minimum. Okay, so that means on the lower time frames, we need to look for buying opportunities. And since it just kind of broke out of this little range, however you want to draw this, I think on a pullback, we should look for buys. So pretty much money like this, impulse move. If it can come back into this area, we should probably look for a move to come out of that, into that, and ultimately, bring it into at least the 38.2 right here. That would make sense. All right, and then I like this. The volume, the momentum is perfect. So this is actually a really good opportunity. I want to look at this more in live action. And I should have done that with gold too. So let me go look at that. Forget it. Okay, the freaking S&P. Here's what I said was going to happen on the macro. Okay, I drew this damn line, and then I said it was going to reverse here. How funny am I? Okay, ultimately, this thing, it like has to reverse soon, or else the freaking stock market is about to make a rally like we haven't seen in a minute. We'll look at it. We'll look at the stock market in a second. We'll look at the indices really, and then at the end, I'll look at some stocks, or I might mix them in here. But the VIX is, if you don't know, volatility index, and when it goes down, stock market goes up. And when it goes up, stock market goes down, straight up. This is coming and doing a pattern that I see it do all the time. Okay, it makes an M, and you can go back and look at this if you want. I'm not about to go back and show y'all. I've done it a million times. But this market will make an M, it will break the neckline, and then it will move up. Or it'll make a W, it'll break the neckline, and then it'll move down. Okay. It's like a weird pattern that this thing does all of the time. And right now, it's one of those things where it's making this M where it could break this neckline and then move up. And ultimately, that's what I think it's going to do. But price action is not in my favor one bit. The only thing that's in my favor is that this volume is kind of low-ish. So let's go to the 4 hour. I want to look at the 4. Oh, I can't do that here. That's okay. I can do it here. Let me go to I really need to look into this today because it is moving too much. Yeah, there's no 4 hour divergence. So I wish there was. Let's go in here, and this would be the fib that I would look for, and it's at the 61.8. It could pop off of this. Let's see if there's 1 hour divergence. I would say yeah. So yes, there is 1 hour divergence. There was a good zone right here. So yeah, I mean, this could pop right here. That's what I want to see. I want to see the VIX move up right here, right now. But that's kind of risky. I'm gonna be totally honest. It hit this area of supply that I had marked off and like failed to break it and is now actually broken the lows. So I know I talked about that pattern, but if we're talking technicals, we broke this low here and we most likely going to make lower lows. I don't want it to. I want it to freaking bust out of here and fake this breakout. Fake this breakout, maybe come into here like this and do something like this and give people hope that this is going to drop, but then ultimately send this thing up in the stock market tank because it needs to. Earnings is coming out tomorrow. I think they're going to be bad. I think that's going to send this thing up, which would bring all of these indices down. So let's look at where the indices are, if it even makes sense, if they're going to come down or not. We'll start with, I'm going to start actually with US 30 just because that is, I just think it's in the area of most desirable spot. Okay, so right at the 78.6 of the last major swing, the supply, major supply here, it's definitely in that. So it's at the price that I want it to fall at. It has major divergence. Every time it's had divergence, we've got that correction at the bare minimum. Well, not like every time, right? But the past couple of weeks, it has actually. So I'm expecting it a mean correction, bare minimum. But with earnings and everything, like I said, I think we're going to see this thing reverse, dog, like reverse. So if we get this move down, expect this move, like a heavy move. That's what I'm waiting on the Dow, and it really looks the best to me out of all of them. If we even go on to the 15-minute, there might be an opportunity tonight if you're about that life. Like I said, I wanted to just kind of break lower first and kind of shift that structure. But hey, if you're about that life, this is here for like a really good opportunity. You could even maybe hold this for way longer than that because it should fall at least into this demand, right? That's an opportunity I like, and I like it on all of them, to be honest. NASDAQ looks good. Let's go to the daily to see what this is looking like. See what that volume is all about. Oh, I didn't know it printed this type of candle today. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, because the tech stocks did terrible. So guys, we should expect this to drop. I mean, momentum's falling. The hit the 50 EMA. It didn't come into this swing zone, but the US 30 did. Failed to break this high. The daily candle is dirty. 4-hour. Let's go into this. I mean, yeah, the 4-hour hasn't given any signals yet. It's still very much bullish, actually. But once this breaks down, we're good to go. There's most likely going to be some type of steal of liquidity, though. It barely took this high out. It should have taken it more. So most likely we'll see this come up above here like this, hit this like 61.8 and then drop. That would be like, if we see any manipulation on the indices tomorrow, it's go time, straight up. And it's almost like you should rather just be patient than anything, because with this type of analysis, I genuinely feel like it's going to go down. If it goes up, then I won't be in anything. But I needed to either break this low with like some force, and then I will just be very bearish on any impulse, because like we failed to break highs, we're bearish. But even right here, like this is a better spot, because NASDAQ is really the one that's coming out with the freaking news tomorrow, and was very bearish today. We'll look at that. This could even be a spot on the intraday levels that you look for shorts. So I'm gonna maybe even look at that too, because that doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, that looks way better. And that would have been a money shot right here. When this impulse down after the manipulation, right? It came right into that manipulation and then sunk. I think it's going to do the exact same thing. If it gets into here, I think it's sinking. So this one looks better than US, or yeah, this one looks the best probably, because it failed to break the high here. It failed to break this high, and we'll probably create some type of a channel like this, and I'm down for that. And that's a little too much yellow, but something like that. Boom, just hit that fall. All right, let's go see what S&P looks like. And yeah, I mean, the volume is telling on itself, like low volume as this is moving up. If this was a real rally, I think this volume would be a lot more. It's very similar to this type of volume here. I mean, it's even worse, to be honest. It's like literally dropping every day. So I don't think, I could totally be wrong, regardless of the fact this is the area. If the market does continue to go up, that's the real area I'm looking for to drop. Not this monthly point of control, or not even based off this candle yesterday. I will, just like I said on the other ones, be waiting for this to kind of sink through and switch structures, boom, boom. I'll play this coming into this little area at the bare minimum, because it could just do this into my swing area still. But I'm looking for bears tomorrow. For sure. But this is where it gets a little tricky, I think, because the bonds are starting to fall. All right. So if the bonds do fall, stock market is going to go up. So I don't really know how to play this. This got damn near close to doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So it's most likely going to continue to play out. Now, these are areas of demand, but I think what we're going to see, since I'm seeing heavy divergence here, most likely it's kind of lining up with my thesis. At least one move down, boom, come back at least just for a little move. I think that's what we'll see. Sweep out these lows, come into this demand, and we'll see what's really going to happen at the demand. Because ultimately, that's really the spot where the last bulls decided to take the market up again. Same thing with the 10-year. It has the strong divergence here with the pattern. I don't know. It's gone up so much at this point that it's got to reverse soon, right? So I'm just waiting to see. Really, I do not think the Fed is ready to pivot, but it's not. Like I've been saying for the longest time, it's not. Of course, it's on the Fed, but everything is gonna pivot before the Fed pivots, and then the Fed is gonna pivot. So it's like I'm more of like I would rather wait, be safe, and be 100% correct that this trend is about to start reversing than try to pick this in somewhere in this area where like literally 50-50, it could go up right here again, literally. So I'm just trying to be more patient and more cautious on the market right now. This is what's really interesting to me is how Bitcoin is moving and Ethereum. And we've been calling Ethereum out like a dog, but Bitcoin is starting to show some interesting volume with some interesting price action. And I don't know if this, I will be shocked if that literally was the bottom of Bitcoin right here on the CME, this little wick move down that took out these lows with the highest volume right here. And then ever since then, we've kind of moved up. I will be shocked if that's the bottom, but excuse me. We have seen some good volume off of this move up. I've been saying for a minute that there's a supply area here that I still think has a chance to hold. We have a yearly point of control up here and a monthly point of control from August up there. But the September and October point of control, this price is heavy. So I got to mark this now. Let's go into the 4-hour, and we're starting to see just a major move on Bitcoin, right? You see, here's the manipulation move that happened. And then the move up, market came back into the area with manipulation and we moved out quick. The momentum is good. It just broke these highs, most likely going to get a retracement. And then we're probably going to get a move back into this supply because this is just too strong a momentum. I don't think we're just going to reverse off of it. Only way we're just going to reverse off of it is if the dollar just goes bullish as shit. And I don't 100% think that's the case right now. So this area, I'll kind of make this a little bit more realistic, I guess. And then we could bring a fib out on it and make it a little bit more easier. And it's right at the 786. So if this is what would need to happen for me to short it at all, and I don't even really want to, it's creating like 15-minute divergence, but it's already at that 50 EMA. So the market is balanced technically. There is an imbalance down here, but the last 50 candles on the 15-minute were balanced, which is a lot. So it has given its time. It's either going to break and come back down into this imbalance, or we're going to see it hold, maybe do a little fake break, and then move, ultimately just move up again in this kind of a fashion, maybe up into here, overthrow this a little bit. And this is technically another form of Wyckoff, but we're not going to even get into that right now. Let's look at the 1 hour, because that's kind of like what I want to really get into. And what I want to see is it basically come in. If I'm going to short it, right, it needs to come into here, retest this 50 EMA, retest the zone, and then move up. that would make this kind of come down, and then this would move up again. We would get that divergence right there. That would confirm a short opportunity in this supply area. But these, when you see like price that moved, did I just delete something I didn't want to delete? Let's see. Yeah, when you see price move super fast, like it did here. Look what it did when it came back into this area. It moved super fast again. So we can expect almost a super fast move. We should expect super fast movement right here on both sides, up and down even. So expect some volatility with that. Ethereum is next. And this is in a very interesting, very interesting spot. Humongous move, shout out AB who did call out these buy stops. We don't play buy stops ever unless it's crypto. And we saw an opportunity we took, or he took it really. I didn't even take this opportunity. It was on his personal, and just money of a shot. I even think his stop was even closer. So it was just a money shot. He has his TPs up here somewhere. But look, we've been marking this off for a minute, right? And it's at a yearly point of control. It's at a weekly point of control. It's at very high levels of volume. If we wanted to, we could extend this out. I'm sure. Let's make sure it looks okay. Coming into the top of a channel as well, right? That doesn't look too great on the downside. So I don't know how accurate this channel is. Either way, I don't really care about the channel part. What I'm looking at is if is this thing gonna hit it? Did it really hit this swing and now we're gone, right? Or are we gonna do one more move and then kind of play around and go? I've been saying that Ethereum is my number one pick for the year. And with this type of volume push out like that, off this type of move, usually you're going to get another wave up on a pullback. So on a more serious note, it should do that. So let's look at that. But 4-hour wise, I think we're going to get a drop soon just because it's in too much volume. Too much volume right here. So we got this move, and the 78.6 is a little higher. So what I would love to see, I would love it if price would kind of retrace, get an entry, move up, and then sell it here. Sell it here and let it come down. If we don't, I don't need the whole move. I don't care. I'm trying to play this thing like a sniper. What we're seeing right now is similar to Bitcoin, though. If it comes back down, if we could even get that opportunity right here before that with the divergence. This would come down and then move up. We would get the divergent move right there. And that would be good enough for me because we have 1, 2, and that would be the third wave right there. And even though this one isn't, a complete 3-wave divergence, sometimes you do get like a head and shoulders on. I'll never get phone calls. This guy. Sometimes you get like a head and shoulders on the MACD, and that could be a possibility coming up. So it's very interesting to see the crypto market moving the way it is, and then the stock market kind of moving the way it is. But I think things are about to kind of go to shit soon. GDP is going to be bad tomorrow, guys. It's not going to be 2.3. It's been negative for, let me just look. It's been negative the past 2. So why do they think all of a sudden, like past 2 quarters? Let me look at these numbers more. Yeah. So we have printed negative since April 28th. and it prints this one is the one that it prints every quarter. And they think it's going to be good. That's amazing. Okay, let's go. I want to look at some other stuff. I think XRP might be on this chart, but it's not looking as good as everything else. So I'm still waiting on XRP to do like a dip down into this zone before I look for buys on it. It's still 78.6 is way down here. So still a long ways to go for me to consider XRP bulls again. But let's look at for once. I want to look at the stock market because it's very interesting what's going on right now. Google is literally closed down 9.6%. And for those that don't know, Google has one of the biggest market caps. Apple has one of the biggest market caps. Amazon has one of the biggest market caps. Okay, so those are like the big money. These guys right here, and I should put like this right here. I think Google has the most, then Apple, maybe Microsoft, then Apple, then Amazon. I don't quite it, regardless, they're all up there. And look at just how how bad they printed. Those are the leaders of the market. And that's what kind of holds up the indices. They have more weight to the indices. And so I think if this thing is really about to do what I think it's about to do, oof. So look, basically we have 4 days for Google for Google to come back above this wick. I don't think that's happening. That wick just happened in like 1 day. So we're about to get this break of structure. I think we're going to get a whole nother leg down on Google, which would be like a 28% drop, which would most likely bring it all the way into this area down here, this yearly point of control, which would just make sense. That's the last area where the most volume was. So what's the percent drop from there? About a 23% drop, right? That makes total sense. Just like what we saw right here. I think that's what we're going to get. Boom. So watch for that. It would be a super extended move though. Because the thing is, we're already overextended on a weekly time frame, right? So there is divergence here on the weekly. There should be a retracement, and actually, ultimately, this should like possibly go up and make new highs at what the next time it decides to reverse. But when you go down into the daily, that's where you're starting to really see the craziness of what could happen tomorrow. So when you get a volume spike like this with a candle like that holds or like barely breaks the lows, I mean, this is just a huge move, guys. You don't see this often in the stock market. This is like one of the biggest moves I've seen Google make. And I think it's going to be bad news tomorrow. So I don't really know how to play it or how I'm going to play it. I'm just looking at what I'm doing, and what I do is I analyze the stock market and then I use this information in the indices. Okay, so this looks very bearish, but it most likely will have a pullback and then drop. So that could mean indices have one more move up and then they drop. Let's look at some of the other ones that printed terribly. And by all means, what happens tomorrow when this instantly reverses? We switch our bias and we figure out that was the bottom of and basically the Wyckoff, and we're going to see a bullish blah, 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 blah. But it needs that all needs to happen first. I'm not about to just predict that. Microsoft, same thing, crazy volume, crazy wick down. It hit this 50 EMA. It looked so bullish, and then boom. So yeah, we got to stick to the bears on that for sure. This has a potential right here, technically, to go bullish, like just dead stop, go bullish. I don't see that. You know, gaps in the stock market are different than gaps in Forex, guys. So don't look at it like that. Apple, which has its earnings tomorrow. Apple's earnings are tomorrow, and it didn't have the worst day yesterday, but it did have a bad day at the 50 EMA. I just have a feeling that this is starting to come down. It's everything else printed pretty bad. So if I was looking for tomorrow, I would look at this for Apple, which is just like a play we would play in any market, right? A move up off the open, most likely, and then a crank down. Let's see what this percentages are. 1% off the open, that makes sense. And then if you could get the entry up here, it would be like a 4% drop. And that makes total like legit sense for a market like with this type of market cap to do that with news. I think if it's going to drop, though, it's going to drop way more than 4%, but it might not. I think that's a good look for Apple, though. And Amazon doesn't have the best look to it, but I would still look forward to do something like that, right? Facebook had a bad day, and it's same thing. They all tech stocks are starting to look very bad. That's why I like NASDAQ the most, because the tech stocks are looking terrible. They look terrible. I want to look at maybe some cryptos, and I'm going to flash through the crypto market on the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour and just kind of see the ones that are moving more than others. So we want to maybe look for a pullback on Bitcoin, or maybe short it if it comes up. Let's go through this. Definitely looking for this move. If you've been following the analysis, y'all know I have positions in right here, but just not my whole bag at all. BNB with a nice move, but it's, let me see this actually. This is very interesting. If this starts to move out of this, man, that's going to be probably a bigger move than most people think. Still waiting on XRP to come down, but it might not. Might not. Oh, Cardano is on the spotlight. Okay. Big spotlight on Cardano. However, you can figure out how to put money into Cardano. Leverage. I'm not even kidding. You should try to right here. And that doesn't mean find all the money you have and figure out how to. I'm talking about if you're a trader, this is your trade all day long. I'm talking 6x your money right here, boy. On the real. So, or 6x your risk is what I should say. I don't honestly care how this thing gets here. I'm going to be looking to get into Cardano at 35 cents, and this is most likely going to move up again. Just get ready for that move. I'm going to put an alert at the 61.8. This one's probably not going to get to the 78.6. So just to be honest, probably hit the 61.8 and go. Let's continue the moves. That's I'm talking, boy, that Solana spotlight, same thing. And ultimately, these might just move off of this 1 hour impulse. You might even want to take the risk right here and just say, fuck it. Sorry, excuse my language, but and just say something like this, and it could be the move. But y'all know me. I'm more of like, I'll wait. What am I pressing? Oh, okay, here we go. I'm waiting for this down here. And same thing with Solana. This one has a better swing to it, I guess. So I'll play this one like this. Sometimes it really doesn't, it really doesn't matter, to be honest, but I like the swing that this has, so I'll play this one like this. But it's the same thing. It looks beautiful. I think the cryptos might be making a wave up. I don't know if it's the bottom. No one knows if it's the bottom. And to be quite honest, we don't give a shit if it's the bottom. We just are looking for potential plays every day. So it doesn't matter. I'm not playing Doge, but yo, Doge is on a move right now. And at this point, I gotta give it to the Doge people. Good for y'all for sticking in and holding your coin and I guess taking this thing to the moon or whatever y'all are gonna do with it. At this point, I'm here for any coin that has survived the run, but this is the last coin that I will ever invest in. Trade, maybe one day I'll day trade it, because to be honest, this run up right here with the volume that it's making, it's definitely giving me vibes that the next pullback is going to be a solid move up. So watch for that. It still hasn't like started doing the crazy moves that we've seen. Here's another perfect one, Polkadot. I'm waiting for Polkadot. I already have alerts set on that. I need to do this. I love this one. I'm gonna make them blue. Or blue, blue. If that's blue, I'm fucking colorblind. It could be purple. Matic. Okay, I love Matic, but it doesn't have the prettiest setup like all those other ones that do. I mean, technically it does, but it's kind of like XRP where you gotta wait forever. So I'm gonna put the alert way down here because it's a swing. And I will put it and this is kind of like if the market tanks, Bitcoin would make like new lows or something, and like Matic would be right here at the 786 type shit. Shiba Inu is probably moving up like whatever Doge, but I'm never going to trade that one. Let's go back to the 4 hour and kind of get a look at everything. Tron is ugly. Avalanche doesn't look bad for a move up and a pullback. Wrapped Bitcoin, I don't ever trade that. Leo, I'm never going to do that. Uniswap looks decent as well, but I think it looks better more if it could just come down one more time for a swing. So I'm going to put this right here and put an alert for a swing. The crypto market is setting up for swings, straight up. Ethereum Classic barely missed the swing. It's okay. I don't want to trade that anyway. Litecoin, I think we could see a little move up soon on Litecoin. Coming into the supply, though, you got to watch out. So I'll mark this out for myself. FTX token is moving, breaking structure, possibly. One, I'm not too familiar with it, though. Cosmos made a nice move out. Now it's correcting. Chainlink is another one of my favorites, but it doesn't have a good setup. Crypto.com has okay look to it. That doesn't. Stellar. I mean, it has a nice look, but not as good as the other ones. Nope. This one looks not bad. Flow. ApeCoin. Nah. Decentraland soon. Sandbox soon. HGraph, no. That's going to correct soon. Tezos, no. Quant is one that is on a freaking craziest run of all the cryptos on this bear market. The bear market, it has done 450%. So when the bull market comes around, we really need to watch for this one. And I might even just do something like this. Let me see what this looks like on the daily. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And look for this move here. Basically going through the whole fucking crypto market right now. Let's find the best moves. Data. Ooh, KuCoin. Here we go. So if KuCoin comes back down, I think because that's a good exchange. I've been with them for years, man. So I'm going to be interested in KuCoin here. An alert there. Oh, this one smacked Helium. So hit the 78.6. I usually don't play them twice, but that's just an example, I guess, of how they be smacking. Oh, whatever this one is. I got this fibbed out already, and it's still moving. That's what the cryptos do. They just continue to go forever. So when this comes back down, I'll look at that. Literally never traded that in my life. BAT needs to move out more. This one is one on my radar, super heavy. I'm talking like get in before anyone else. I even might go as far as saying I want to create some content on this platform. It did how much? Almost 400% in a bear market as well. So this is a decentralized social media platform. And I think it's going to start to pop off because I think people are going to like hear about it when the crypto wave is going to come get big again. And then y'all know how that goes. But this is what I'm seeing with this. We get this little correction here. Okay, yada, yada, boom. And then most likely something like this. Move out. Put that one on your charts. Engine, there we go. So this is another one of my favorite ones that I like the way the structure just broke right here. We might even just play it like this. If that comes back down a certain way, that's going to be money. We'll put that right there. The graph, I'm waiting. Stacks Quant has been a mover. Let's look at that on the daily because it's been, I think, all right, that's, yes, that's just a different chart. Okay, market cap, ETH dominance. This is in a very interesting spot because it could very well just drop right here. So we'll be watching for that coming into this area. That's still what I want to see. I'm going to stick with that. Other market cap dominance. I mean, hey, these are actually in bullish spots. Total market cap. Oh, so let's go into the hourly and look at this. Because the total market cap is actually coming right into an area where it has failed. So, wow, that's very interesting. Volume is picking up on a market cap. I don't know how that works, but we're definitely getting the divergence. This most likely is going to correct, but if this breaks up on the market cap, if it gets into that 1 trillion again, that'll be an interesting spot. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when the market gets right there and if it gets right there. but I think it could. I know a lot of people are looking at this because crypto is just, a lot of people see this and they're like, oh, it's gone. And that's usually when people get super wrecked. Like right now is probably when people are buying. So if there are people buying, that means there has to be people selling. So if that overtakes what just happened and we get like an equal move down, I will be more in favor of this to continue down. So we'll see what happens there. Total DeFi market cap. DeFi is looking very bullish right now, in my opinion. Let's go to the 4 hour and let me look at that actually. Yeah, DeFi is looking very bullish right here. So all those DeFi coins, I mean, the structure is money right here. Impulse is up. Nice. Everything looks good for this to pull back and then move out. The market cap dominance. So this is, or the USDT Tether dominance. And basically it inverse correlates with Bitcoin. I'm seeing a possibility that it could go bullish here where there was the last area of demand. We had this down move, then up move. But recent move, we're not there yet. So the next thing that's most likely going to happen is we're going to get a pullback and then another move down, which is going to send Bitcoin up again, going to send everything up again. So this wave right here, I mean, this to me looks like perfect Wyckoff. Okay, we had this type of move, and then we had a up thrust test, and now we're getting a change of character. And so if we get a pullback with lower volume, then most likely this is going to fall, which is going to send Bitcoin up. At that point, we'll assess the market. And this is kind of just another chart we've been looking at. Instead of the futures chart, this is the other chart with good volume that I like to look at. And really at the 61.8, it could full on reverse. Y'all know Bitcoin's the most volatile asset. I'm not here to try to catch like the top or the bottom necessarily, but it's an opportunity. So it's been bearish. I think the opportunity lies here the best. But if it comes down, we need to catch the move up into that since it hadn't got there yet. So that's it for that. I want to also go and do this with the Forex pairs just really quick. I know it's kind of a longer analysis, but I just need to do it. So yeah. Okay, so ultimately probably one more move down on the dollar, right? Like I said, it did break into, this area. There's these lows right here. We'll mark these off. And those are probably going to get swept out. Then we have this area of demand right here. And that's where I think the market's going. Since it didn't stop kind of in these areas of demand, it's most likely going to in this area after taking out these equal lows. Let's see if I have equal lows. Nope. So, and then when you go into the 1 hour, just the bearish divergence is there. Probably going to get that one more move and then the move down into it. That would be just like picture perfect. Which means, let's see if UCAD or, yeah, this is what I've wanted on UCAD for a minute. We got it right there. It just took a little bit longer. Failing to make new high, up thrust after distribution, yada, yada, yada. Now it came into this area, failed. This area, I think, is going to fail as well, but we don't know 100%. I think UCAD has a good shot right here in this area of supply. Just put an alert there just to But if it does sweep out these lows, watch out for something like this, maybe. U-Chef is starting to diverge, but yeah, this is going to be another one where, we'll be looking for this type of move. Definitely. On the lower time frames, though, it's diverging so much. I have to take this opportunity, I think. So if it comes all the way down to 0.9808, which is like 50 more pips down, I think there's going to be a great buying opportunity. Like a 30 pip stop loss and probably double the risk, but just go for 1-to-1 little snack, or take it all the way back up here. It's probably the sniper, but this looks perfect to me. In fact, let's put an alert here for the divergence. Divergence fib 30 pip SL 30 pip TP, and that's on some back testing stuff that y'all don't get that. This is already in the divergence fib that I would be playing, and it's in profit, but I don't know why I'm not in it right now, to be honest. To be honest, FTMO is taking a little bit too long to verify my account, but this is in a swing zone that we kind of already spoke about. I'm looking for this to correct. EA wait for this to break. Once this breaks, it's game on. EG, I am pretty much staying away from EG, but there is this little spot right here that is making me like think, could it go up right here? And I might play a shot right here just because the manipulation was pretty heavy right there. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't love it. GU, we're looking for correction. GCAD, I don't really trade this. So it's got 3-wave divergence on the 4-hour though. So this thing is probably going to get ready to drop soon. You don't see these patterns very often on the 4-hour. So look for that to start to correct down. G-Chef, same thing. You don't see them very often. So I'm looking for the pound to start to move down based off of all these patterns. GA, if it can break through this little zone right here that it's working at, then I'll be looking more bearish. But then once they do make that move, boy, this thing looks, it's probably going to take forever to get there because look at this. But if it can come back down into this manipulative area ever, I'm so very bullish. That's going to take forever. AU, we are flipping our bias to bullish at this point pretty much. Well, we have been, but we're still bullish, waiting for it to come back down. Maybe playing the correction if it makes another move up, but that's savage. UJ freaking is gone, so we can't play with that. GJ, here's everyone's favorite for no reason. GJ has divergence, so look for this thing to correct. But at this point, I wouldn't mess with GJ. It's in a weird distribution area where I thought this was like the top low key, and then it's still making higher highs. So at this point, I wouldn't mess with UJ or GJ until it breaks a leg. And really, you don't even want to wait for this structure because there's this manipulation zone that it could break into and then go up again. So you want to wait for that to break. And then so however that has to play out. That's how I'll look at that. EJ looks like a great short right now. I don't really like that wick. I'll just take it from here. That's all I'll say about that. I think how we should play EJ, since it's here's how exactly how we should play EJ. There are still highs that need to be manipulated. So this is lovely. This is actually lovely. So we got highs that need to be manipulated, and then we got lows that still need to break. So we can just wait for one of those to break. And truly, I would love for it to be the manipulation and then the structure. That's like the ultimate put all your money in the fucking trade and go at it. If we get that, then I'm striking here heavy. But if it just does this, well, then I'm still striking. Because I would like it to break I would like it to break some type of structure, some type of structure. So if it could break structure, I think EJ is one to wait and watch for. So I'm going to put an alert here. If you can, no, okay. Put an alert here. And so once it breaks through here, it'll alert me. And then once it breaks above, if it breaks above here, it'll alert me. And I'll watch for EJ the most, pretty much. Unless some of these other ones, I'm kind of bullish on AJ, the Aussie. So this one isn't the best one. This one's not the best one. That was is a good one to look at too. But gold, last thing. That's it. Okay. That was a long analysis. So I appreciate anyone who watches the whole thing. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.